Rising to speak to the Social Workers Mandatory Registration Amendment Bill. I won't be speaking in support of this bill, Mr Speaker, but I do acknowledge the Labour MP Carmel Sepuloni, whose this bill, his name is under and has been drawn out of the ballot. And I too have had a member's bill drawn out of the ballot recently, and it's great to see your ideas be formulated, developed, discussed and challenged. And there is an issue around this with the Social Development Minister, Anne Tolley, already requesting the Social Workers Registration Board about looking into registration. So I think it is very much a question around timing of when that report will come back. But also in this bill there is an issue around 1 year being set as a milestone that social workers need to be registered by. And I don't think that's enough time for this very diverse and complex workforce to be registered in. And when you look at social work is about timing. It's getting to the social issues at the right time and providing the right interventions. So when we look at the question of regulation or one of not being regulated, I'd challenge that a bit, and it's around effectiveness. And what we need to do is look at the whole of the social workforce and understand what are the blocks, what are the obstacles for them to be achieving their results to improve the social well-being of all New Zealanders. One program currently in the United Kingdom, Mr Speaker, called Reclaiming Social Work, is giving social workers the ability to get back to face-to-face work, to engage with the people that they're working with, not as a desktop exercise where they're filling out forms. We hear some very scary statistics through the Children's Commissioner with his interim report that some social workers are spending less than 25% in face-to-face engagement with the people they're working with. So we need to ensure and understand it's not just about how we regulate or register, it's how we free up working practices so social workers can go out there face-to-face and provide effective interventions. Because what we're talking about at the moment, Mr Speaker, are social workers who are so fixated on writing down care plans, but what we need to do is upskill this workforce. They have expertise. It's all very well being passionate, but you need to have a skill set that you then go on to provide interventions. Maybe that might be around psychological therapies that make a real change to people's lives. And so that is what I would support, Mr Speaker. I think it's also fair to say that what we also need to do is address the problem, mitigate social problems, but even prevent them right from the start. And when you look at some of the successes this week in the House, as the State of the Nation report said for the Salvation Army, if we want to address social problems, then we need to get right up front. And what we do around social problems addressed by poverty, it's around providing better jobs and better incomes. For that, in New Zealand, that means exporting more products offshore. By engaging in free trade agreements, we provide more jobs, better incomes for people in New Zealand, which address social problems like poverty, which increases the social well-being of all New Zealanders. Because when you look at social policy, Mr Speaker, you can have all the aspirations in the world of this social policy or that, but at the end of the day, you need to pay for it. And that's about a government that can provide strong economic management and create surpluses that are then reinvested into good public services that go on, that give people a good start in life. Can I join people around this House, Mr Speaker, in acknowledging the work of social workers throughout New Zealand? I know in my electorate of Waimakariri we've been very hard hit post-earthquakes, and it's great to see the social work teams getting into local schools, thanks to the Associate Earthquake Minister Nikki Wagner with her psychosocial plan that allows social workers to go in and make a difference for young people in their lives in New Zealand. Thank you, Mr Speaker.
I call Jan Logie.
Thank you, Mr.